won't stop churning out news stories. As a byproduct of that, there's no stopping us. I am Jeremy Corbett. Welcome along to 7 Days. Well, as per, I'm joined by 6 top-tier comedians, all equally talented, but some are more equal than others, and we call them team leaders. Let's meet them, shall we? Leading Team 1 is what you'd get if Jason Gunn swallowed everything in the chemist warehouse. It's Henwood! We do have a lot to catch up on, my old friend, but what about the last sort of week? How's it been?
It's been pretty good, Jeremy. I've got a little something for you. My wife, right? She had her birthday this week.
Right.
I got her a present. Pretty good one, I'm not going to lie. I get a text in the morning, early morning, from the courier. Right? Now, I've got my phone by my bed because I'm a bit of a NFTs, bloody DVDs, bloody CRC, mate, whatever you want. I'm doing a bit of WD-40 on the side. I'm trading. So I get a text from the courier. I go, it's not my usual courier. And he's wheeling a pram with no baby in it. And I'm always dubious of people with a pram with no baby in it.
Sure.
He uses it for the heavier parcels, right? He's not using it for my parcels, he's shimming some other parcels. I go round the corner, right? He's in the thing, and he's having a wee on the wheel.
On the wheel?
Of his car.
Of his...
And I give him a fright, and he wheezes on my parcel. So then at 6 a.m. in the morning, I'm dealing with a birthday parcel covered in wee.
And that's not what you wanted?
Did you have to be like to your wife, oh, sorry, love, but I pissed off the courier driver?
Well, I had to get that out and rewrap it and
How big was his package?
Well, you needed a courier van to carry it. Decent size. But long story short, she was very happy with the gift.
Good, yeah.
So afterwards, did he say anything to you? I'm intrigued, just generally, no gags. I want to know all the details.
I was still trying to... Because I came out, I'd seen the pram, right? So I was sidetracked with the pram.
Oh, you sidetracked us all with the pram. It had nothing to do with the story.
To be honest, the pram wasn't a crucial part of it.
Anyway, that's all we've got time for tonight. All right, Diane, who's on your team, buddy?
On my team, if you look up gregarious in the dictionary, you'll find the wonderful person next to me. She is named after Angella from Who's the Boss. It is Angella Dravid. One of my favourite British supermarkets, Tom Sainsbury.
Good team, Team 1. Well, when the leader of Team 2 gets slapped at an award show, she asks for it again and harder. It's Laura Daniel. Too much?
No, you know me well. What an introduction.
Your team's looking good. Who have you got?
Making her 7 Days debut tonight, the extremely funny and talented Billy T nominee, Abby Howells. Joining us on the show tonight because he has incriminating photos of his team leader, Joseph Moore.
As is tradition, we are going to start tonight's show with a round of Newsmakers, where I present our teams with some context-free news bits. They simply have to tell me why they're newsworthy. And Team 1, you're up first. I have an image for you. Why is this newsworthy?
Are these the new contestants for Dancing with the Stars?
I think that's Ashley asking, are we overdressed for this sauna?
Or maybe it's Ashley going, hey, actually, it was me that set that slide on fire.
No, this is actually a picture of the leader and Jacinda Ardern.
That is Ashley leaving. He's resigned.
Yeah, you're right, Di. Ashley Bloomfield has called time on his tenure as Director-General of Health. He did that on Wednesday, announcing that after leading New Zealand through the pandemic, he'd be stepping down at the end of July 29. He said it's been tiring both running the pandemic response and running all day through the minds of middle-aged women.
I reckon he goes, I'm going to resign in July, just before the next pandemic. Oh, sorry, I mean, oh, nothing, eh?
Do you reckon Jacinda's there just like, wait, we can quit?
That's an option.
I would have done that ages ago.
I wish they'd announced his resignation at the press conference. Like, Jacinda would be like, I'll just hand this over to Ashley, and Ashley would be like, piss off.
He's been the best Director General of Health since...
I know the one you're thinking of.
I'm thinking
the previous. Been a big because the mandates have gone as well. So the conspiracy theorists, I guess we've got them to thank for that. The parliamentary protesters, thank you.
No, it's so good now that unvaccinated people can actually go back to their jobs now that the mandate has ended. And on an unrelated note, I'd like to welcome back Henwood.
Yeah.
Suspicious, but
No.
either you name how many vaccines you've had and I've had more. So,
I mean, people are all excited that it's going to go back to the way it was before, but if you remember, 2 years ago, we were miserable then too.
That's right.
They're saying that the main form of protection now is to wear masks. I've gone one step further by only hooking up with the immunocompromised and over 60s.
Well, they're safe. You know they're safe.
Yeah, you've got to contain your bubbles.
It's now, it's going to be a lot easier to visit cafes, so now the only thing stopping me is my lack of friends.
Oh, honey.
It's fine, I have a rich, imaginative life.
I love going to a cafe on my own.
Yeah.
Like the cell phone has changed life for the single cafe person.
you know, I don't like all this, your phone in the cafe. I went down to get a coffee the other day. It was serving outside, and everyone was on their phone. I was looking, and the moon was still out. It was really bright, and I was like, that bloody moon's out. And I love the moon. I'm just one of those guys. So I'm out there, and I say to this dude next to me, I'm like, hey, that's a cute jacket. What gang are you in? And he's like, oh, I'm in the Headhunters, bro. And I'm like, sweet, man. So we had a little fight, and then then I said, have a look at the moon. And he's just, nah, mate.
Oh, what?
On the phone, I'm like, people are weird when you ask them to look at the moon. What's happened to society?
And they totally would have missed you transforming back into a man.
All right, we'll move on. Team 2. I've got something for you from the news. Have a look at this and tell me why this is newsworthy, please.
Oh, well, all I see really is an opportunity to make 5 friends.
Well, you should save one for yourself, Abby. Just 4 friends.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not about winning tonight. This is purely a friendship enterprise.
Is this the government starting to play fast and loose with 5+ a day?
I'm going to save you guys some time here. I know exactly what that is. This must have been in the news because someone's broken a record for showing extreme restraint and not eating a whole packet of Tim Tams.
I think I know what this is.
Okay.
Yes.
I think it's that our food is shrinking. It's called like shrinkification.
That would make sense because there's missing Tim Tams. I was going to say something about, like, I don't know, sugar.
We're getting less food. We're getting less food for our bucks, Jeremy.
You are dead right, Abby. Yeah, shrinkflation, it's called. It's in the news this week. Many examples of food companies reducing the quantity of the product but leaving the price the same. For example, cream eggs being a gram lighter and new flavours of Tim Tam having only 9 biscuits per pack rather than the usual 11. Yeah, reducing the contents. Yeah, I agree with you, audience. It's insidious. It's unacceptable. Anyway, that's the end of the show. Thanks for joining us. Team 1 wins. Up next is 30 seconds of Graham Norton. Good night.
What's Pringles' slogan now? Once you pop, you got 4 left. So.
It's across all things. I remember when I was a kid, dads used to be much bigger.
Yeah.
You know, and they used to lift you up and hold you in their arms, you know, and now they're kind of small and frail and complain about Jacinda all the time.
I think they're hiding it with the packaging. Like, they're putting so much packaging. Like, once I ordered a Russian doll, and I kept unwrapping the packaging, and then all I got was, like, a small doll.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with that? It's a choking hazard.
I mean, is the food even shrinking, or are people's hands just getting bigger?
Yeah, Tim Tams are 0.5 in the health star rating.
Out of
5.
Okay.
And I want to know, What's the 0.5? That's too high for me.
Something in cocoa.
I feel there's...
No, I can tell you, the 0.5 is that slight bit of joy you feel before then you realise the crushing mistake you made of eating the whole packet of Tim Tams.
All right, for Newsmakers Team 1, you can have the average house price in Auckland after trending downward for the first time in years. It's now a very affordable $1.55 million. Everyone should have one. So you get that, and you can, Team 2 can have the years that Ashley Bloomfield has been the DG of Health for when he leaves his post in July, which means Team 1 gets a big old star. Well done, Team 1. How good are the stars? Well, they can win you this week's prize. Let's take a look at that, shall we? It's always ripped straight from the headlines, and I hope you've got a sweet tooth because tonight, teams, you're playing for a packet of Tim Tams from the year 2030. Indeed, 8 years in the future, 8 biscuits lighter, perfect for sharing with a friend, easy on the waistline. It's going home with the team that gets the most stars tonight. All right, time for a game of Yes Minister on 7 Days, where a Member of Parliament puts their political career on the line, gets a grilling from our panellists. Elections are won and lost in this very studio. They can answer our team's questions any way they like, as long as they don't say yes or no. Please welcome our Minister for this week, the National Party's Shane Reti. Good to see you. Put yourself down. So you answer the questions from the panel. Don't say yes or no. Do you understand?
I do understand.
Great. Right, take it away, teams.
Shane, you are a doctor. Are you sticking around after this? Because I've got a concerning lump on my inner thigh.
I heard the conversation on Tim Tams. The answer's no.
That's because you're taking your job seriously as a doctor.
Yeah,
That's all right.
it's
Such a confronting image.
Present you with my inner thigh within seconds of you sitting down here.
Don't worry, I tell him no all the time.
It's fine. It's a scoring situation, so it's not just one and you're out. We'll carry on.
Should the mega rich be mega taxed?
I think the mega rich should be distributing some of their wealth so that everyone can benefit. That's what I think.
Well, happy to do so.
Shane, you are a doctor. Fun fact, I am also a doctor. I have a PhD in theatre studies. Don't laugh, that's just a fact. It's genuine. And so what I wanted to ask you, doctor to doctor, do you consider my degree to be worthless?
I consider your degree to be highly valued. You can do things I can't do that they can't do, so I consider you to be valued.
Wow.
Thanks. Hear that, Mum and Dad?
Kia ora, Shane. I am not a doctor.
Yet.
But I would be a very good one. What do you prefer? 501 deportees or 501 straight-leg jeans?
Boy, that's tough. Let me just weigh that. The jeans.
Dr. Shane, so you were the National Party leader for 5 days, correct?
I was the interim leader for 5 days.
Yeah. Was the rest of the National Party jealous that you had such a long run?
I was pleased to be able to shepherd the team through those 5 days.
Dr. Shane, will Winston Peters be making a comeback?
Winston Peters is likely to re-enter the political scene.
Oh, he's running.
You heard it here first.
In a body bag or as a
I believe it's a viable human being.
I have a question. You were a raised woman, so was I, and I'm single, and I noticed that you've only got one wife. Do you want to get married?
Wow, how do I reply to that?
Save your marriage.
What are your prospects?
Dr. Reti, I see you're playing guitar here. And muso to muso, is that a D you're rocking there?
It is a D. That's opening the Huntavasa in Whangarei, and I was playing a song because the memorial itself is called He Kakano, and so I told the organisers I would sing a song called He Kakano Ahau, which is a nice He Kakano Ahau, nice melodic sort of song. I finished my speech, pulled my guitar out, threw it over, and I'd done a sound check beforehand, and unbeknown to me, the sound guys had hit reverb. So when I did my first starting chord, instead of getting a nice melodic, I go...
Bloody Valentine shit.
You can't stop when there's hundreds of people there, so I played it through. Next day, Northern Advocate, MP Rockstar, new version of He Kakano. I'm thinking I've broken every part of Te Kakano. I I could possibly break.
You,
Yeah, that's what happened.
You lead the Waiata for the National Caucus, I understand. Is it hard learning the Coldplay songs?
There's a lot of melodic people in the National Party caucus.
Who's got the sweetest voice?
It used to be Joe Hayes, now it will be Harete Hipango. Oh,
Wow.
boy, she can sing. Wow, she's really good.
Can
Two of us
any of
together,
the
straight
white
up.
ones sing?
How do I still have friends after? That's sort of my question.
I think your hymn gave us the answer.
I mean, physically hold it, not sing it. No.
I have a question. Okay, you're in a corridor, right? And there's a murderer running right towards you and he's got a knife, but his fly's undone. Do you tell him?
The answer is yes.
Give it up for Dr. Shane Moretti. The star goes to Team 2.
We needed that. We did need that.
All right, let's be frank, everyone's a comedian these days, so why don't you prove it? I'd like you to caption this photo. Yeah, it's a goodie. Text us your caption and your name to 4088. Best caption, according to our crack team of captioneers, wins $500 of Frank Energy credit. Please don't forget to include your name. You can take another look at that photo. It's up on our Facebook page, 7 Days Facebook page. We'll announce our winner toward the end of tonight's show. We're going to take a break now. You've earned it. Stick around for a game of Club Tropicana on 7 Days. Starting to heat up a little in the studio, possibly our central heating on the blink. More likely, though, it's the steel drums! You know what it means? It's time for Club Tropicana. Head on down to the beach. This week, I'm proud to announce our new sponsor and pineapple provider, Dole. Yeah, I'm not talking about the Dole that sponsored most of these comedians through the first 10 years of their careers. Talking Dole, the king of the pineapples. Whether it's a healthy snack you seek or a decoration for the top of your hat at a Brazilian carnival, look no further than Dole. Inside this juicy, affordable Dole pineapple, I have some stories from the week. And I'd like to hear a little bit more about these stories. This is open to all teams, and we start with this story. This is a Delta Airlines pilot praised this week for safely landing an aircraft after its windshield smashed at 30,000 feet. He was one of the good pilots, obviously, but I'd like to hear some things you don't want to hear from your pilot.
Oh, flying's a hell of a lot easier than those Al Qaeda training camps.
And my co-pilot today is Crystal. Crystal meth. Booyah!
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to enter a rip in time.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've been allowed to fly. Let's see if it is just like riding a bike.
Ladies and gentlemen, we believe that is a pterodactyl flying beside us.
G'day, folks. I'm Michael. I'll be your pilot tonight. My co-pilot is my mum. She's sitting next to me because this plane goes after 10 p.m. and I'm on my restricted.
Paging Dr. Abby Howells. We have a medical emergency requiring your attention, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, we believe the pterodactyl is carrying us back to its nest.
Hey, does anyone at the back there have Google Maps?
If you hear barking, folks, don't be alarmed. That is just my guide dog.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to open the emergency exits. We suggest running as fast as you can away from the pterodactyl.
Out your right window, you'll see Aoraki, Mount Cook. Out your left window, you'll see the ground!
All right, we'll move on. This one is after the story of a Kiwi police officer giving an interview this week where he revealed he was forced to appear on the TV show Police 10/7 despite not wanting to. So what I'd like to see from our teams is some deleted scenes from Police 10/7, please.
It turns out that young girl was his wife, so you're free to go, Mr. Corbett.
I thought you were on home detention, Clark.
Tonight on Police 10/7, we follow New Zealand comedians doing their tax returns.
Tonight, the real reason Bloomfield quit.
He's too good to be true, I like it.
What's my favourite part of the job? Well, for me, I'd have to say the strip searches.
Oh, hey, mate, I know I arrested you for breaking into cars, but I've locked my keys. Could you help me out?
Yes.
All right, in that house, there is a violent serial killer, and we're going to go in and we're going to arrest him. But first, a TikTok. Stop!
Go back to my Dole pineapple. Yes, OK, messages. This week, scientists have sent a new message into space in the hopes it'll reach aliens. Ignoring warnings from the late, great Stephen Hawking, to do so is a bad idea. How bad could it be, though? I'd like some messages we should send the aliens.
Have you heard of our Saviour, Jesus Christ?
You can visit, just no butt stuff.
That's what they do.
How would you like to be your own boss and work the hours that you choose? What did you really believe in?
Yes.
If you don't forward this message on to 20 people, you will die.
OK, I'm going back to the Dole pineapple one more time. And this week, Auckland Museum announced one of their new attractions is a 67-million-year-old T-Rex named Peter. The first T-Rex to ever set foot in New Zealand, dead or otherwise. But enough about Peter. I'd like to see some terrible museum tour guides, if you will.
If they don't come alive at night, then why do you have a problem with me setting these traps?
So as you can see, that's the Mona Lisa. It's quite small, so if you can pass it round everyone, please, so you can have a good look.
Now, this vase actually dates back to the Ming Dynasty. Just kidding, Kmart.
They do some good vases.
Toilets are just over there to your left, and if we do run out of toilet paper, please unravel one of the mummies.
Oh, yes, they always tell me not to touch this mummy because it's cursed, apparently, but I touch it all the time. Oh, my eyes are bleeding.
Play the steel drums one more time. Sit yourself down, teams. That's a great round of Club Tropicana. For points, you can have 9 million. That's the number of dollars a Canadian man was fined. He orchestrated a maple syrup heist in Canada. It's been dubbed the most Canadian crime of all time. $9 million. He did steal $18 million worth of maple syrup. And Team 2, you can have 22. That is the number of metropolitan areas in the US where young women are earning more than young men. Yeah. What next? Will we allow them to marry? Team 1, you get a star. Congratulations. 9 million will do it. All right, I've put away my fresh Dole pineapple, also available in can form from your local supermarket. We're going to take a break. See you real soon with My Kid Could Draw That on 7 Days. Everyone's a critic these days. No, seriously. Send your frank feedback about 7 Days to this email address. Stay tuned for how we use it. Could be a laugh. Time now for an old favourite. It's a round of My Kid Could Draw That, where we ask adorable children to render stories from the week in felt tip and crayon. Our kids this week come from Birkdale Primary. Thanks for having us. And Team 1, we'll give you a picture first. What has my kid drawn here?
Ko Sainsbury Ingoa, and I go to Te Waitonga at Birkdale Primary. And this is my picture.
Cute.
Oh.
Oh, this is a top-down picture. Obviously, quite a way through her architect's degree. This could be... there's sort of a dinner party setting. This could be one of Abby's dinner parties, because it's all set, but
And
there's
it's
no
empty,
friends.
Yeah.
So it's top down, so we're at a dinner table there with all the chairs, that's right, and we've
There's
got a
a
lovely
woman with a...
big lollipop.
So the woman's lying on the carpet, obviously, looking up. Maybe doing carpet angels. We all did those.
Oh, actually, if you look at the little, in the black square, there's a little girl, but her eyes are shut. So I'm going to think that she's asleep because it's dark in there.
The lights are off.
The curtains are closed or something, and that's dark.
Do you think we should address the fact she's sleeping next to her bed, not on it?
Well, so she's kind of hovering, yeah.
And this person here has got a red T-shirt on.
So you're saying this is a story from the news?
Yes, it is.
I think, like, it's a brunette with a red shirt. I think it might be Jacinda.
Yeah, well, that's narrowed it down. I can't think of any other brunette. So let's lock that in.
So I think this is...
For sure.
Because
And that's
Jacinda's...
Neve then.
Yes.
But where's Clark? Hey, that's what the country's asking.
And I think that's a clock there. So I think this is about...
Oh, yes. Daylight savings. Oh, yeah. Didn't she show up with gumboots on?
Gumboots,
yes,
yeah.
That's right.
I think our team is absolutely correct here. Jeremy, because of daylight savings, Jacinda had to wear gumboots for an extra hour.
Yes.
Sounds, could be right, although can we just please say daylight saving and not put an S on the end of it? But it does sound like you're right, Team 1. Cyan, what have you drawn, please?
My picture is about Jacinda wearing muddy gumboots to work.
Whoa.
She's wearing muddy gumboots, but she should be wearing her high heels. Her shoes are in her daughter's room, and her daughter's asleep, and she doesn't want to wake her up. Here's the dad's little hangout spot. Dad's not in the picture because he's at work. I don't know what he does for work. And this is my picture.
Oh, Cyan. Beautiful picture. Jacinda Ardern is blaming daylight saving for having to wear gumboots to Parliament. The Prime Minister wore the classic Kiwi attire to work on Monday after a clock mix-up meant her child was asleep in what I guess must be her only room for shoes. Possibly, I don't know, although according to the forums I read, the reason she doesn't have any shoes is because Clark keeps throwing them over the power lines.
It's appealing to farmers, you know, and she's dropping with them in the polls. And I hear next week she's going to drive a tractor to work, shear a sheep at question time, then take Chris Hipkins out the back of Parliament and shoot him in the head.
Yeah. Farmers will be fully on board. Yeah. That's our shit.
My beef is not with daylight savings, but with the sun. I hate the sun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, can't look at it. It burns me. But if I don't get enough of it, I get depression. What's its deal?
You know who you should call?
Yeah?
Maui. So far, out of all of the people I know, right?
Yeah.
He's the only one who had an issue with the sun and successfully rectified it.
Yeah.
I think we've automatically got a great icebreaker.
I mean,
Finally, a friend!
All right, Team 2, can you tell us what story this kid has drawn, please?
Ko te iho kapinga toku ingoa, and I go to Te Puawaitanga Birkdale Primary School. And this is my picture.
I'd love to kind of go deep and try to figure this out, but I believe art should just stand on its own.
It's whatever it means to you.
Yeah, it's whatever it means to you, man.
Well, Joseph, what do you think of it? Because we are in the market looking for some art.
We are looking. We are. I'd love.
I think that could be quite nice.
Yes, this would go lovely in the billiard room of our flat.
I mean, I think you're completely right. Art is subjective, and it's really in the eye of the interpreter. So to me, this is about the Boer War.
Well, I mean, you're the doctor, and
Not in the last 7 days, no.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's got to be about maths.
I actually have in my scouring of the tabloids.
Oh.
I did see something along these lines, but they had a science article, and fish can do maths now.
Jeremy, fish can do maths now.
Fish can do maths now, Jeremy.
Yeah.
That's
Heard
what
the word?
That is ridiculous.
Te iho kāpinga, can fish do maths?
My picture is about fish learning maths. Scientists found out that zebrafish and stingrays can do maths. So I've drawn stingrays, zebrafish, and a brain. And I've also drawn some fish food, because the scientists used the fish food so the stingrays and the fish would do maths for the food. And using the treats worked. If my teachers gave me treats, I would do maths. And this is my picture.
You want me to do the mahi, you give me the treats. You heard correctly. Fish can do maths now. This week, a study in Bonn, Germany, revealed fish respond to colours and cards in a way that demonstrates an ability at basic addition and subtraction.
Wow.
So it turns out sharks aren't natural predators. They were just beating up the nerds. I love it. Sea kites.
And you say that stingrays are part of the study,
Yes.
right? And they were the best at it out of all the fish. So that means the murder of Steve Irwin was calculated.
How are they doing the maths? Are they doing it in their head, or are they doing it on their fish fingers?
I don't know. They never explain it, do they? It's an elaborate system of colours and cards. They never really explain why we know that fish can do maths.
I mean, yeah, they can like add and subtract, but can they do true maths? Writing boobies on their calculator.
I hear the fish count by going omega-1, omega-2, omega-3.
All right, we'll do points for my kid could draw that. Team 1, you can have the distance that Kiwi Bailey Parsons threw his paper aeroplane to qualify for the World Champs in Austria. 43 metres. He threw it. No doubt Jetstar's been in touch. Team 2, you can have 90, which is the amount of COVID vaccine doses a German man received in order to sell fraudulent vaccine passes. Team 2 gets a well-deserved star. We're going to take a break. See you real soon for a round of Quiz3 Never Repeats on 7 days. For Quiz3 Never Repeats, the game where we look back through this 7-day period in history and find out if our panellists are as smart as they look. Unlikely. Hope your whiteboards are at the ready, teams. Your first question is coming at you. We're going to 1932. Ooh. On this week in 1932, what happened that went on to put a strain between New Zealand and Australia? Do you know in 1932 the staple remover was invented? 66 years after the stapler was invented. What are they doing in the meantime? Staples everywhere. And famous people born that year included Johnny Cash and Elizabeth Taylor. No relation. Why would they be? Different surnames. On this week in 1932, Di, what happened that went on to put a strain between New Zealand and Australian relations? You can trust British paints, but not Rolf, unfortunately. What do we have, Angela?
World War I.5.
No, they didn't do decimals back then, didn't do fractions. What do you have for us?
Australia started seeing other countries.
It's kind of what happened, but yeah, not the answer I'm after. Gee, there's a lot going on there, Laura. Are you ready to show us what you've got? In 1932, what happened that went on to put a strain between New Zealand and Australia?
They murdered our beloved Phar Lap and they won't give the body back.
You are correct. Well done, Laura. That is the correct answer. answer. The death of Far Lap, the beloved Kiwi-born Aussie-claimed racehorse, succumbed to a sudden and mysterious illness in California. And Far Lap's bones are on display in Te Papa in Wellington, his skin at the Museum of Melbourne, and his heart at the National Museum of Australia in Canberra. I believe a similar deal is in place for Russell Crowe. We go way back now, 1896. The question is, on this week in 1896, what sporting tradition began for the first time? The X-ray machine was demonstrated publicly for the first time. Henry Ford drove his first Ford vehicle through the streets of Detroit. And in 1896 was the first public screening of a motion picture in New Zealand. I believe it was Lord of the Rings, and it's still playing. Tom, in 1896, what sporting tradition began for the first time?
Shirts versus skins. Hater.
Good answer, but no. Angela?
Retired cricketers promoting heat pump.
It is a great sporting tradition, especially in this country, but not the answer I'm after. Di?
Let's go on, Warriors! Top 7, baby! 13 plus against Brisbane, another one this weekend! Yahoo!
I feel like that may have been your answer for any of the questions I asked tonight. Laura?
Birthing Barrett brothers.
That is a sporting tradition, all right, but didn't begin in 1896, unfortunately. Abby?
Toxic masculinity.
That started way before then. Go right back to cavemen days. All right, Joseph, in 1896, what sporting tradition began for the first time?
Eating greasy food and drinking beer while yelling at elite athletes for not being good enough.
And continues to this day. Not the answer I was after. The answer was the modern Olympics. They took place for the first time in Athens, Greece. Also the year that New Zealand invented the term per capita. OK, teams, here's your next question. On This Week in 2019, only 3 years ago, scientists revealed the first ever images of what? Childish Gambino took home the Grammy for Record of the Year with This Is America. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle welcomed their baby Archie to the world. Haven't heard much of them since then. And Greta Thunberg gave her infamous "How dare you" speech at the UN. Became one of the most beloved teenagers in the world. All right, on This Week in 2019, scientists revealed the first ever images of what? Tom, do you have one for us?
They're girlfriends who go to another school so you won't know her.
Who hasn't uttered that sentence? Right. Angela, what do you have for us?
Nudes. And they saw a black hole.
We laugh, but you're right. They saw a black hole. That's the image they posted. Well done. A black hole. The Event Horizon Telescope produced the first ever image of one at the centre of a galaxy over 55 million light years away. And a black hole is a super dense area that matter can't escape from, not to be confused with the grey mouth, which is a mildly dense area everyone wants to escape from. And the black hole was quoted as saying, "OMG, deleted, I look huge." Fourth question. We go to 1983 now, and on This Week in 1983, how did magician David Copperfield impress 20 tourists? First ever version of Microsoft Word was released in 1983, and Nintendo released their first home video game console. Lorraine Downs, she won Miss Universe that year. Top-selling singles in New Zealand that year, 1983, Let's Dance by David Bowie, Blue Monday by New Order, and Beat It by Michael Jackson. And boy, some of them have aged better than others. 1983, Joseph, we'll start with you. In 1983, how did magician David Copperfield impress 20 tourists?
He impressed them by being the first magician not to wear a fedora.
He did. He went hatless.
Yeah.
Everyone was impressed, but not the answer I was looking for. Abby?
His impeccable manners.
Different David Copperfield. Laura?
He made the Statue of Liberty disappear by telling them to look the other way.
Pretty much, yeah, well done. He did. He made the Statue of Liberty disappear in front of a small group of tourists, as well as a live TV audience. He raised a large sheet in front of the statue, lowered it to reveal it had gone. Although maybe it wasn't a magic trick, in my experience, disappear is what every woman does when a magician approaches them. Brilliant round of quiz, 3 educational and entertaining. What more could you want? Pay attention in this next ad break, because we're going to announce the winning caption for this week's Let's Be Frank competition. Keep an eye out for that. I hope it's you. We'll be back with Beat the Ding on 7 Days. See you soon. 7 days. It's time now for Beat the Ding, which is where I make our comedians list things whilst in a state of time pressure-induced panic. There is a star up for grabs with every ding, so let's get into it. Story number 1, Dan Carter started his 24-hour kickathon today to raise money for UNICEF. Di, you have 10 seconds to name 5 things you could do for 24 hours. Go.
Meditate until I popped out of my skin. Sausage thing with a cat. The cat run. Fast thing with a running. Me running. And a lemonade thing.
I think we're all looking forward to the sausage thing.
With the cat.
With the cat.
And lemonade.
I'm not sure if that was 2 separate ones or not. It was like, you start the sausage thing-a-thon and then you go, let's move over to the cat-a-thon.
The cat involved.
Oh, that was a
Run for 24 hours.
Running. You nearly made it, but not quite. So no star for you, unfortunately, Di. All right, story number 2. Ashley Bloomfield quit this week. He was the heartthrob of New Zealand during the pandemic. Joseph, you have 10 seconds to name 5 New Zealand heartthrobs. Go.
TK Samuels, Dominic Bowden, Tom Sainsbury, my beautiful fiancée Laura Daniel, and the Goodnight Kiwi.
Heartthrob?
Oh, yeah. I stayed up late for a reason.
Well, you're lucky our producer's on your side and loves the Goodnight Kiwi, so you get a star. Good work.
What?
All right.
I named like 30 things. He just said he'd book
You said
a Kiwi.
sausage over and over again.
All right, we continue on. Number 3. The Grammys were this week, which celebrated the best music of last year. Tom, you have 9 seconds to name 5 really good songs. Go.
What's love got to do with it? Tina, why does the rain start falling on me? We found love in a hopeless place. Jude, we hate Jude and Imagine!
It's a yes, a star for Tom.
Already got him.
Wow, this is good. A lot of stars going out. All right. An AI robot created by employees of IBM has been programmed to make fine art paintings, which is very impressive. And Abby, you have 10 seconds to name 4 famous painters that aren't Ninja Turtles. Go.
Oh.
Crisno, the Wailing Wizard, Picasso, and Creep, Da Vinci.
Oh, I don't know. Can't pay it, sorry, Abby. Can't pay it, which is unfortunate. We're up to number 5. Our next story is Kiwi cricketer Ross Taylor played his final international for the Black Caps this week, shedding some tears during the national anthem. Angela, you have 11 seconds to name 5 things that make you cry. Go.
Onions, chilies when I rub them in my eye, water when I rub it in my eye, air when it gets in my eye, and sunscreen when it gets in my eye.
You're very clumsy. That's all I can say.
You could have said sausages.
No, I slapped them away.
You get a star. Well done, Angela. Star for Angela. All right, Dancing with the Stars New Zealand announced the lineup for season 9, would you believe, starting soon, including 2 members of our beloved comedy community, Eli Mathewson and Reese Mathewson. No relation, different spelling. I digress. Laura, you have 9 seconds to show us 4 famous dancers. Go.
Cha-cha.
Yeah.
Hip-hop. Rumba. And the waltz.
Brilliant. A star for you, Laura. Yeah, no, stop now. Stop. Can you stop it, Joseph? Is there an off button?
You can't stop it.
Can't stop it. That's okay.
Sea walking.
The Trip. I love that one. I love that one. Let's go to the Star Chart one last time. Find out tonight's winner. Congratulations, Team Tom! All yours. Don't eat them all in 2 sittings. That was 7 days tonight. Please join me in thanking our panelists this week. Di, Angela, Tom, Laura, Abby and Joseph. We'll see you in 7 days on 7 days. Good night.
Thank you, New Zealand, on air for all the money and the friendship-making opportunity.